the first Emerald Legacy live stream. Today we are going to be focusing very specifically on fixing moves in Generation 3. So we're going to actually be starting with Blaziken, Blazekick, because that's the thumbnail, and I wouldn't want to disappoint anyone for what they clicked for. But we're going to go through. We've got a lot of changes that we've actually already played around with, a lot of changed moves, but this was all a lot of very, very early theory crafting we did back in like November before we actually decided to first go with Yellow Legacy. So this is all open to change. Everything really is open to change, I think, until the ROM hack is actually out. But I just want to clarify to chat, and hello chat, it's good to see you again. I haven't live streamed in a while. We'll be doing very specific changes to moves and balancing moves around precedents that other moves set. So yeah, I think a good place to start. Actually, I wanted to start with Blazekick. Blazekick is a move to me that it is. So I should actually preface. Blazekick is Blaziken's signature move in Generation 3, and the reason that I want to start with it is because I think it's a very it is very obvious in showing the lack of balance between the three starters, which I talked a lot about in the first video we did. And I just think that finding balance for these three starters is going to be really important from the get-go, because Swampert is so good. We're going to try to make, not make Swampert worse, but make more Pokemon in the game grass type that actually threaten Swampert. But the other thing is, like, I want the game will get harder, so the difficulty will go up. Swampert is already up, and then we'll bring up the other starters to hopefully be almost as good, if not as good as Swampert, so that all three starters feel amazing, but then the game is a little bit harder so that there's still not, like, nothing's going to maybe steamroll quite as much as base Emerald Swampert does. Some thoughts. And that's why I think that Blazekick is a really good spot to start. Marty actually going to start things off. It says, thank you. We'll be joining shortly. Looking forward to conforming Gen 1 and Gen 2 move changes. Yeah, and I think that's another good thing to think is, like, we can sit here and talk about move changes for what we did in the previous generations, but it doesn't always fit neatly because context is really important. So I don't think we're going to be looking at, like, well, what did we do in Gen 1 and 2? It's going to be more like, what are the precedents set by this game, and how can we go and make decisions sort of based off of them? So I think Blazekick is a really good place to start. So Blaziken learns this move at level 36 evolution, 85 power, 90% accuracy. The interesting thing about Blazekick is that it has a high critical hit ratio. So I think it has like a 1 in 4 chance to crit or something like that. Increased critical hit ratio. And it also has a 10% chance of burning the target. So those are, like, okay, a 10% chance to burn is kind of like every fire move in the game. Like, if you want to just, I think the closest move to this is Flamethrower. I think also, by the way, this is like a good way to kind of like introduce you guys to, like, the thought process. It's just an interesting move that's, you know, needs some work. So Flamethrower in this game is 95 power, 100% accuracy, and has a 10% chance to burn. So if you think about it, like, Blazekick and Flamethrower are pretty similar moves. They're almost the exact same move. The difference is that Flamethrower has slightly more power, just 10 more power, 85 to 95, and slightly better accuracy, 90 to 100. But Blazekick has that 1 in 4 crit. I kind of have a weird thing with Blazekick because personally, as a player, I never really like running it, really because of that 10% chance to miss. I think that 10% chance to miss is pretty bad, and I don't really find that it's made up for with that high crit chance. Like, I really don't. Yeah, like 100% accuracy is a really big deal. 95 is about the lowest I ever want to go, unless I'm just like throwing thunder or like fire blast on something for like kind of crazy. But I really do think that 90% is pretty rough on Blaziken, and especially like its other big move that doesn't even come like it comes after, like in the end game, is also 90% in Sky Uppercut. So oh, it's 1 in 8. It's 1 in 8 to crit, actually, which is even worse. Thank you, chat, for doing that. I don't think every 1 in 8 times doing double damage is worth every 1 in 10 times missing, personally. Like that's almost like even, but I would much prefer just reliability. So yeah. Also, Chris says, thank you for the team. Been playing. Thank you and team. Been playing Crystal Legacy, and not enough YouTubers bring up the quality of normal trainers throughout. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll also just say, guys, if you do have any suggestions, you want to talk about anything, it's always preferred to use the super chat link down below through Streamlabs, just because YouTube takes 30% of super chats. If it's the way that you feel more comfortable, don't feel bad about it. But it's just something I want to let people know, because a lot of people just simply don't know. So anyway, getting back to Blaze Kick, what we have done, and honestly, I don't even know if I like this. Blaze Kick has got we basically, in the very preliminary stages, we upped its accuracy to 100%, because we said, okay, an imperfect accuracy signature move kind of sucks. And we said, okay, that's like the first thing we want to do, is we want to give it perfect accuracy. What else should we do with it? And what we did, which I don't know if I love, is we just upped the burn chance to 30%, and then we removed the crit. My thing that I don't like about this is now that's actually pretty balanced. Like that, there actually is a reason to run this over Flamethrower, because a 30% burn is really good. But for me, I do question, like, I don't know, from a flavorful perspective, is that like, are we kind of missing something there? Like, is that lacking flavor? Like, I feel like Blaze Kick is kind of unique because it's like a fighting, you know what I mean? So in that sense, I that was the change we made, and that this was months ago, right? So like, again, like I do want to preface, like, don't get attached to ideas here, because nothing is concrete, and I think people will sometimes get like stuck up on that, and it's gonna slow things down. Honestly, to me though, I kind of feel like Blaze Kick might be better in keeping the crit chance and just going to like perfect accuracy. Like I almost wonder if just 85, 10% chance to burn, high crit chance, like I feel like that is pretty flavorful, full, and still on brand. If you just up the accuracy, leave everything else alone. 15 PP, I mean, PP is really like a very small factor when it comes to like balancing stuff. So I don't really think about PP too much. It's more just like trying to make things a little more better quality of life. But yeah, I think 95 power with crit chance feels like a better alternative to Flamethrower. I think that's super fair. I think you also need to look about like what the other starters get. So like Grovyle gets Leaf Blade at 29, which is just 70 power with no secondary effect. It does have an increased critical hit ratio, so also the 1 in 8. But like, why does this like 70 power versus 85? Like, there's no like secondary effect on this. It's just 70 power, you know? So that's just not balanced to Blaze Kick. I guess it comes a little bit earlier, but like, whatever. And then if you want to think about Swampert, right? Swampert actually is kind of weird because it gets Muddy Water, which is hilarious because Muddy Water is 95 power, so that's Surf, 85 accuracy. So what you're sacrificing at 15% accuracy is basically a 30% chance to lower the opponent's accuracy. Personally, I don't really think Muddy Water is good. Like who here runs Muddy Water on Swampert over Surf? Exactly. So just thinking about all of that, personally, my thoughts with Blaze Kick is that I think I kind of want to make all the signature moves 100% accuracy, or at least 95. But I think what I'd want to do is lower that burn, probably like back down to 10. Re-add the crit chance. maybe 95 power, and it's just like if it's just better flamethrower, like that's cool. Like Blaziken is like a really good fire type with that. You know what I mean? I think that's like a little more flavorful if you keep the accuracy. So something to think about. I think that a move like let's actually just see what we did with Muddy Water, because I think that's another like interesting place to start. So actually, someone said in the chat, like, I think Muddy Water should have 95% accuracy, and that's actually exactly what we did. So what I would raise the PP of that to 15, just, I don't know, 15 PP on 95 power moves. But 30% chance to low accuracy, that, like, to me is now going to compete with Surf. Like, there's actually a question there of, okay, every 1 in 20 hits I'm gonna miss, but that's gonna cause, like, I mean, gee, the math on this is like lowering accuracy takes it down to 20, like you lose 25% accuracy on one stage, and there's a 30% chance. So like, what is even the math on that? Like 0.25 times 0.3 is 0.075. So every time you like honestly, even Muddy Water at that is not that good. I almost like even I think we changed it to speed down. I see. We altered that too. I love that concept so much. Unfortunately, like I think that it lowers defense. I feel like I can see both sides of it. Like it should definitely lower defense because like you've had like an acid burn, so now you're more vulnerable. I actually think it does make sense. But I also agree that thematically like burn would make a lot of sense. So like I agree, but I think like that acid is just so ingrained in doing that you couldn't really change it. Anyway, thank you for the dono. I want to look at where's Muddy Water? So 30% chance to lower foe's speed by 1. I almost think that could go to 100% accuracy and it would still be balanced. Because I think that it's like, I mean, you are buffing Swampert, but like lowering speed is nice for Swampert for sure. I think that kind of feels a little bit more in line. Muddy Water to 100% accuracy, maybe. Blaze Kick keeps high crit ratio. So yeah, we're already like thinking about, you know, potential changes. And so it says like Mudshot should be 100%, but I don't agree with that. I think that Mudshot is pretty balanced because it always lowers the speed. So there has to be some drawback of that. Like, here's the thing. That move is so much better than Blaziken's Double Kick, which comes at the same time. Double Kick just does 60 power. It's just 60 power move. That's 90 with stab, 55 on Swampert with plus stab, you know? 100% chance to lower speed. That's really good. And you just have a 5% accuracy loss. Like, I agree. Like, I think if anything, the accuracy should be lower. Because that's really good. But I wouldn't lower that. My philosophy almost always is buff and then make the trainers harder. I think Mudshot is super fine, but Leaf Blade is in a super interesting spot. So we have upped it. What if Blaze Kick's power was lower than made to always crit, so always bust through defensive buffs? I really do think that's an interesting idea to play around. I think my thing with that is that it's never been done in Gen 3 or back. And I think you want to be really careful when trying to take ideas from Generation 9, which shows a lot of power creep. You can't really compare Generation 9 and be like, well, they did this in Generation 9. Like, you really have to look at what the precedence was set for this generation. And that's why I think Legacy, like Crystal Legacy and Yellow Legacy, feel pretty good, is that we made decisions based around this game. Like, you really have to like remove your like Gen 9 brain and really like focus in and be like, I'm thinking of like a Generation 3 player, and that's it. As otherwise, I think like you can get into that, and then you start to like see ridiculous power creep pretty quickly. Can we make Flatter more available? Never saw that move. Yeah, so I think we're gonna just talk about just moves right now. So actually balancing the moves themselves. So we will do that in another video. And thank you, Joe, for the dono. But for this stream, we're just gonna be talking about like the moves themselves. So yeah, I kind of am cool with like a muddy water boost, I think. And this is all subjects to change, like I said, but I think we gotta get the ball rolling here. And so Leaf Blade is the next one. So Leaf Blade was an 85 power move, and we've buffed it, 70 power, we've buffed it to 85. Something for me with Leaf Blade is that I kind of think I like, we're really looking at moves, but we do have to consider like how this will fit into the learn set. I part of me does like the idea of the starters all getting their signature move around the same time. I think Leaf Blade is super awkward because they're like not giving Grovyle anything but absorb. And then it's like, well, why does like why not just give Grovyle like a better grass move through like the mid game and then make Leaf Blade even stronger so that it's like actually a good signature move, and then from there like make it like level 36, like kind of like Blaziken. You know what I mean? Like, that is something to play around with too, I think. So I think for now, like leaving Leaf Blade at 85 is solid. Because there's a lot more levers we can play around with Sceptile. Like, I'm really open to raising Sceptile's special attack, like maybe giving it 15 and lowering its attack. I think before we talk about like making Sceptile Dragon, I think it's really important to just like try to make Sceptile work as a grass type, like the grass type that people know it. And so I think this is fine for where we're at right now. Like, high crit ratio, 85 base power move. That's the strongest grass move in the game outside of Solar Beam, but the strongest single turn, no gimmick, or no other requirement move, plus the high crit ratio. So I do think Leaf Blade is in a much better spot, and even if that's like a little too strong for level 29, like 36, you can give it Razor Leaf earlier. Like, there's a lot of things you can do. So I like where Leaf Blade is. Again, though, things are always open to change. Just remember that. Tajirai says, "Hey Smith, great work on Crystal Legacy. Big fan of early Hound Hour. I know this is a tall order, but is there anything you could think to do for water sport or mud sport?" Now you are talking. Yeah, so water sports are really, actually, let's start with mud sport. I think that's the best example. So mud sport is a move which lowers the power of electric moves. You're thinking, okay, that's kind of cool. The problem with mud sport is that the only Pokemon that learn it are ground types, which don't take any damage from electric. So like Geodude used mud sport and weakened electric moves. Hilariously, like, also it's at the very start of the game when you have no access to electric moves. They are genuinely some of the worst moves ever. Water weakens fire, which at least like, I could see like a Ludicolo benefiting from that move. In the Flannery fight. Dabba dabba do. Thank you again. So I don't know what we're gonna do with those moves. Have we? I don't think we've done anything for them yet. Because it's kind of hard to think like a doubles move, maybe make them do damage, last like the whole fight. That would actually be quite strong if they last the whole fight. Like, that would really hurt Flannery, for example. Make Mud Sport weaken the water move. water for grass. Yeah, and that's another thing to think is like maybe Mud Sport weakens water moves. And so then like it's good on Geodude because it makes water moves only deal 2 times super effective damage. Or you give Mud Sport to water Pokemon, right? I think that's another like interesting idea. So definitely something to think about. I've just got like a document. I'm just gonna start writing these things down. Mud Sport could go on water types. I think that is like a good thing to consider. Because that could be an interesting strategy for the Watson fight, I think. Like yeah, Mud Sport weakening water could be a big deal too. Or, yeah, Mud Sport could also weaken water. Like the mud mixes in with the water and makes the water like less effective. I don't know, like thematically, but I think those moves need a bit of love. Grass types could use Water Sport and water types could use Mud Sport without stretching the imagination at all. Exactly. I do agree. So I think there's room to play with that for sure. We'll write that down and get to that. But I think overall, I'm gonna actually rewrite this because we have a 10% chance to burn now. 10% chance to burn. I need to delete notes. So anyway, where do we go from here? Yeah, Mud Sport can go on birds pretty reliably too. I think that I'll actually write that down too. It can go on birds. I think that's like a really good thing to consider. Like maybe it would just work better if you gave it to non-ground types. Where do we want to go from here? You want to talk about Aerial Ace? I kind of want to talk about Aerial Ace because this is a really weird move. You get this move after fighting Winona, and just before Winona, you get Fly, which has 70 power. So a 60 power move is like really, really weird. Like Wing Attack comes on like Talo at level 13. Aerial Ace is just really outclassed by the time you get it. So it's not that it's a bad move, it's that it's so late that it just is kind of like useless. I kind of think that maybe the power should go to like probably like at least 70. And then it's like kind of interesting because like at 70 power, you're kind of getting into like, it's not quite there, but it is like kind of late game territory. Excuse me. So I do think that like maybe making that 70 and always hit is kind of like a bit more actually is a boost. It is a good coverage move for a lot of Pokemon though. So that's a super valid point, and maybe we should just leave it as alone, which is the 5 power boost, so that it's better than Wing Attack. Priority would actually be pretty cool on that move, but I think that might be a little too thematically much. So I don't know. I think maybe that the 5 damage would be pretty cool. Yeah, Salamence and Aerodactyl actually use 70 power. Hidden power flying as their stab move or whatever power. Yeah, hidden power. That's cool. Yeah, I think that's like probably also fine to look at for now. Where do we want to go from here? I think the other move that I really want to look at, like I want to actually kind of like talk water moves. And the first one I want to look at is actually Water Pulse. So Water Pulse comes very late. You don't get it until after it doesn't come till after Technician. I don't believe exists in Gen 3. I will check. That's a good point to make, but I'm pretty sure that's a Gen 4 ability because it's Lucario. Yeah, it's a Gen 4 one, so nothing to worry about there. So what I was trying to get at is Water Pulse is kind of like Aerial Ace in the sense that it comes really late. But the problem with Water Pulse especially is that not only is like Wing Attack just as good on Aerial Ace, with Water Pulse, it's like you get Surf so early and it just outclasses every other water move you get after. Like Waterfall, ugh. Water Pulse, ugh. Whirlpool, ugh. Octazooka, ugh. Muddy Water, ugh. Dive, ugh. Yeah, they're all just really bad because like Surf just has this precedent of being a 95 power move. Now, I think Water Pulse as outside of being a TM move, I think there's a case for it to be kind of good, actually. I think that if you just made... Okay, actually, let's see what Reggie says. Respectfully disagree. Water Pulse is still a good coverage move for the surprising amount of non-water types that can learn it, and it's an incredibly useful learn set option for water types in the mid-game. And I think that's basically... I wasn't going to say that first part, which is a really good point, but I agree that like you can also think about Water Pulse as just like maybe not a TM for a water Pokemon, but for a coverage move, right? Surf could use a nerf, but unfortunately we're not really trying to nerf things. So I do think there is a case to be made that Water Pulse is fine. Again, it's kind of late, which I don't love. I don't know. Like I still feel like it needs a buff, like maybe 70. Like I do think that 80 actually might be too much. So I would like to move this down to just 10 more power for now. And we actually haven't even boosted it in here. So I'm just going to raise that up to 70. 30% chance to confuse. Or leave it at 20 and give it the 70 power. I kind of think that maybe. Water Pulse 70. I think 70 is probably good for now. Typically how we do this is we kind of set it on the weaker side and then we see how that feels, and if we want to give it more we can, again, because nothing else is really like set in stone. So a lot of it is just like see how this feels and play with it. I think 70 definitely feels a lot better. Scald doesn't exist in this generation, so yeah, maybe a 25% chance to confuse. I think that's interesting. I think I like that where it is though. But again, like now it's like, okay, what about Waterfall? So I'm pretty sure. Let's see, Waterfall. Waterfall in this has 70 power and a 20% chance to flinch. So this doesn't actually line up in the document, but in the code, I think Waterfall actually has an 80 and we lowered it by 10. Would making Waterfall use physical stats be out of the question? Yeah, we're still going no physical special split. That's just the precedent of Gen 3. That's what Gen 3 players know. And again, you know, as we've said a million times, people that I definitely get it more in Gen 3 because Gen 3 almost feels like it should have a physical special split. But the reality is that it doesn't. And I just think like that's just this game, you know? So we're not going to be doing any like physical special splits, any of that kind of stuff. I think Waterfall might be able to find a niche though in flinch strats. So I actually do like the idea of bringing the flinch up to 30. Because then Waterfall basically becomes headbutt. And we've done this in previous generations. My thing with it though is that like I really never find anyone who uses Waterfall still. Especially because did I get that super chat? I think I did, right? That was yeah. Because in doubles in this game, that they now have like an extra benefit, right? Of they have the added benefit of dealing damage to both opposing members only. So part of me wonders is like, would you just leave Waterfall at its 80 power and just give it a 30% chance? Or like 90 power and a 10% chance to flinch, right? That's another way you could take it. It's a question of how many fast water type exist. Exactly. And there's actually not that many. Like, a lot of the water Pokemon in this game are not that strong, like Gen 3 Dex base stats. So if you just want to take a look at like the fastest Pokemon, let's see what the fastest water type is. Like, it might be Starmie. And this is up to Gen 5, just as a heads up, so you'll get some people that aren't in Emerald. But what is the fastest water type in Gen 3? Like Tentacruel? And 100? No, Starmie's faster than that. Starmie has 115. Yeah, Starmie. So Starmie at 115 would be a really good user of Waterfall if it gets it. Tentacruel would be good at 100. You know, you want to say Gyarados because you use it on Gyarados and later gens. Like, actually, Sharpedo would be nice with it. And it's kind of thematic for Sharpedo with, like, bite and stuff. But I actually don't think that would be too bad. Like, I just think, in my experience, people have not really been running Legacy Waterfall. Like, it's just still outclassed by Surf. People just want the higher power. And especially with with Surf being better now in doubles, I really do think there's a case to be made that... Hey, Paul. I'm gonna get to that in just a second. I do wonder if 80 and 30 would be okay, because it's currently 80 and 20. And I don't know if anyone really uses Waterfall, or was it 80 and yeah, I think it's 80 and 20. Let's just make sure of that originally. Waterfall does damage. Oh, and has no secondary effect. It's only in Gen 4 that it gets it. The 20% chance to flinch. Again, though, Waterfall is good in Gen 4 because it's a physical move. That's why it's good in Gen 4. So I don't know. I think 80 and 30 might be okay, or 90 and 20. I think there's some things. Maybe not 90 and 20, because that's pretty damn close to, yeah. I want to get to this, but I just want to finish this thought. T Greeny, I'm going to get to your super chat as well. Pre-physical special split. I think it just has to be a flinching move. Surf is only 50. Yeah, though, as opposed to Modern 75. It's true, but it's still hitting both sides of the, like, it's still very useful. I find Surf really good in the Tate and Liza fight. Oh, Love Disc outspeeds Sharpedo. That's funny. I just don't think Waterfall should be 90. I think that's I don't know if I want it to be better than Surf, you know? But I want there to be a case for it. I don't know. Let's see what 80-30 does. We'll leave it at 80-30 for now. Always open to change. 80 power, 30 flinch. Could be interesting on a few Pokemon. Now, let me get to these super chats. Really sorry, guys. So no physical special split. Are you going to type flipping like you did in previous games, flipping Ghost and Dark? Yeah, so we will flip Ghost and Dark. I don't plan currently to make Dragon special. And part of that is just because then you uneven the amount of like special types and physical types. And that's why we didn't do it in Crystal, but we did do it in, wait, did we even do it in Gem 2? One? I don't even know. I think that it's, yeah, yes. Yes, T Greeny. The answer is yes. We will be flipping Ghost and Dark again. Thank you for the super chat. And then Paul Melton says, have you looked at all of the comments from the previous video? Very elegant solution to the Stephen Wallace problem, and I'd love to see your reaction. Sorry that this is unrelated. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that, like, I guess at the end of this stream, because I actually do have an idea for it. I'm going to be honest. I have not gotten through every comment yet because there have been like so many. Like there was a point when that video came out that there was like a new comment every 20 seconds, and I haven't been able to keep up. But I've read a lot of ideas. So, Paul, I will try to get back to that. But at the end of the chat, if you guys can remind me to talk about the Wallace-Stephen conundrum, we can absolutely do that. Anyway, Izona, and thank you for the super chat as well. We will get to that at the end of the stream. I think there's a small difference between full PSS and a small number of moves dealing alternate damage as a gimmick. That'd still feel Gen 3. Yeah. I mean, alternate damage is a gimmick. I suppose it's like a gimmick. Like I had talked about that like before with like Shadow Punch maybe doing physical damage to kind of like be like, ghost type as a, I think I am still open to that. I've had a lot of pushback from playtesters. So I don't know, but I do think that there's room to maybe do that for like a few moves. The problem is a lot of people just take that and run and kind of ruin it, unfortunately. So, yeah. Like Blaze Kick could do physical damage. Like that's actually a move that would be kind of cool with physical damage, like thematically appropriate. Rock Tomb. Actually, that's a great question. What do we do with Rock Tomb? Let's look at Rock Tomb. Should we just like actually go through these though? I feel like maybe we should just go through our current changes. So just go through it in order rather than booping all around. So Absorb, we've buffed by 10 power. Other than that, it's just Absorb. Probably gonna make it so that Trico gets Vine Whip and then Razor Leaf on evolution. Because I don't know, like I don't still think like especially Grovyle and Sceptile don't have absorbing grass type vibes. They very much have like Leaf Blade, like cutting with leaves and vines sort of vibe. I just don't know why like it's like a draining grass type. Hey, what's up, Reggie? So I think that's probably fine for Absorb. It's pretty standard. Acid to 50 power. Poison sucks, so whatever. I think we maybe gave it a boost to 20% lower, but that might still be on par. Aeroblast just gets a little bit more PP. That's not going to matter really. Air Cutter, actually, Air Cutter was the other change we did. So we made it 65 power and high crit ratio. So it's kind of like a Razor Leaf, but more intended as like a mid-game move. And that's kind of going to be for like Golbat type Pokemon. So I think that is like a pretty nice little fix for Air Cutter, because at 55 power chance to miss, like I don't think anyone really uses it over Wing Attack. So I think that does make it a little bit more like interesting, because it does more than Wing Attack and can crit. Ancient Power just brought it up to 10 PP. Again, it's just annoying. Like PP is really just often annoying. Arm Thrust, we brought it up to 18 power. We did actually make it 20, but we thought that it's kind of like an early Makuhita move. So we thought like maybe 18. So if you want to do the math here, 18 times 5 makes it max 90 power, but minimum 36. What's that, like 54, 72, and so on. So better, but yeah. Maybe make Waterfall like a water type Fire Blast that already exists in Hydro Pump. So we don't need another one of those. Would be kind of crazy though to make that an HM. Yeah, Bullet Seed doesn't. I don't know, man. A lot of people like to say like, oh, Trico gets Bullet Seed TM, so it's fine. And it's like, no, that is like a on average like 30 power move. Like you should just use absorb. Like Bullet Seed is worse unless you absolutely need the 50 hit, and you just got to roll for a 12%, 5 hit. So, or sorry, not 50 hit, 5 hit. Ancient Power, Arm Thrust, Astonish. We actually brought Astonish up quite a bit to 50 power. It's a 30 power move, and it's awful. Astonish is so bad. It's like Lotad's like only move for a bit. Obviously, we're gonna fix that kind of stuff, but like, goddamn, dude, it's so bad. And Ghost type needs some different moves. Like Ghost really needs different moves. So we're thinking about this for Ghost types. I think was a lot of the change. It's just like giving Ghost a bit of variety in its moves, because Jesus Christ, man, Ghost is just like, oh, we've added another Ghost move. It does 30 power. Like what? Barrage might become a grass move. I think we're open to that. We haven't changed it yet. Changing types is kind of a last ditch effort when nothing else works for a type. But probably won't see. The big thing with contests, that actually is a good question, because I didn't cover contests in the announcement video simply because well, it would have just been another point against Emerald, because Emerald kind of botches, like they just shove them to the very end of the game. And I would like to make it so it's more like Ruby and Sapphire, where they're like throughout the game, because I really enjoyed contests, and I think it would be cool to like add some like some rewards for doing them throughout the game. Like maybe you get an early citrus berry or like some other cool like held items and stuff. Because they're really fun. Like that, I had a great time with contests as a kid. And I gotta be honest that like a lot of systems that are like fun random systems in Pokemon are not very good. I think contest is one of the better ones they ever did. So yeah, I would like to. I didn't like the battle tent. I thought that was really like lame. It felt like a step backward. So great question, and thank you for the donation. If you guys also want to donate, ask a question, I just ask if you don't mind using the link in the description through Streamlabs. YouTube takes a big cut; they take 30% of all donations. So we appreciate when we do that, and you get your comment read out, which is kind of fun, by our lovely lady Emma. So yeah. Anyway, beat up has gone to 20. All healthy allies attack the target. We hope that 20 is better, because that could do potentially 100 power if you lead like a Sneasel, which we're thinking about putting Sneasel in the game. So, yeah, and yeah, Wolverine. Like, I don't think we would remove the battle tent, but I think we would maybe make it a multi-facility area, because I really like the contest. I wouldn't want to remove that aspect either. So just adding. I would make Blaze Kicks 85 power, 30% burn, 95 accuracy with high crit. Blaziken needs the indirect defense buff. Yeah, and that's interesting. Like a high burn is something to play off of Blaziken, because 30% burn is really good. Something to think about. Yeah, Gen 3, if anything, needs some ice types. And I made a solemn vow when I signed up for this project that I would not add another water type to the game if I didn't have to. And I think Jinx, Sneasel, and Piloswine kind of make it so that you probably don't need to add any more water ice types. So, yeah. Yeah, we won't add all Pokemon before the end game. Like that would just be way too bloated. But we're gonna add a few, and then all Pokemon available, in post game. But not talking about post game, because the post game is just purely for completing the decks and whatever. Let's talk about binds. Yeah. Bone Club, Bone Rush, Bone Meringue. I don't know if Cubone is in this game, so I don't really think it matters all that much. But we have upped them. Maybe that will have some significance. Bounce. That's a really interesting move, because Gyarados should be able to learn Bounce, and it probably will now. And it's 85 power. We made it 100% accuracy. Could be one of the better moves in the game, actually. After one turn, 30% chance to paralyze the target. Could be one of the better moves in the game. It's definitely something to think about. But yeah, we've given Bounce a little bit of a boost. Bounce 1 turn, 80% accuracy. I don't know. I don't think Bounce wants a 95. That's really strong. I think you got to think about what this game is before you start throwing out ideas like that. Yeah, we gave it 10 PP. I mean, maybe it honestly wants more. I don't see why Bounce couldn't have more PP. It's not really like gonna throw the game off. Yeah, buffing Bounce makes Fly null. The thing is, like, not a lot of Pokemon learn Bounce, and that's something we're gonna play off, right? Is like, not all Pokemon will learn Bounce. Would Gyarados get Bounce? Be pretty good if it did. I hate Gyarados so much. Bubble plus 10 power makes sense to me. Bullet Seed up to 15 power, so it can do between 30 and 75 power. I think that's pretty nice for early game grass move. I think that's like actually pretty good. Like 30 is not great, but it's gonna on average probably be doing 30 or 45, which is fine. But you know, chance to do 60 or more is pretty good. Yeah, Bubble actually 100% chance to slow is pretty based. I'm gonna write that down. Bubble 100% chance to lower speed would be cool, but I'm not gonna do it yet. Can you talk about Jirachi? I wish we could catch her before finishing the game. Yeah, so for this stream, we're just talking about moves. And this will be stuff that we'll definitely talk about more as we go on. I think Jirachi will probably be available, but the thing is like, you gotta like think like moves are kind of like the foundational aspect of gameplay, and really before you can move on to like changing teams and doing all this stuff, you have to actually know like how the moves are going to be balanced. Like that's like the most basic thing, and then you have to like structure the Pokemon and like give them these moves and update their move sets, and if they're still not good, then you give them more stats and or maybe add availability. And so we're building a pyramid, and something like Gyro. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that. But yeah, so things like Jirachi right now, it's like that's kind of like the crowning final stuff that like I know everyone was really excited to talk about, but we can't get to until we actually make the changes that will make the game better. You know, a lot of people want to. That's so funny. That's so funny. So there's a very big reason that I would not even really consider giving Sceptile Dark type, and it's that there's 2 other Dark types in this game. I know there's been a lot of talk. Also, Vic, thank you for the super chat. There's been a lot of discussion about Sceptile. I've played with Dragon type. I even made a video about it just to see what it feels like. To me, Sceptile wants to be an offensive Pokemon, and giving it Dragon type makes it very. That's like a defensive buff for it. So it's so funny that 2 people back to back ask about Dragon type. I personally think that adding a 3rd Dark type to the game, that's not even before the fact that we've never changed a Pokemon's type in Legacy history. I just think that although it would be sick, and I would really like to do it, we don't need a 3rd Dark Grass type. It would just be. It would just be way too much, you know. It's just like it's so redundant, you know. Even though Sceptile would be a way better Dark Grass type than the other 2, I don't think we want it. The Johto starters did not get their type changed. No, the Johto starters did not get their type changed. The Johto starters did not get their type changed. Okay. There was no change in Crystal Legacy where the starters got their type changed. Okay? It's never been done. It's never been done. That was like a random side hack. Yeah, I know a lot of people are definitely like, do we want to make do we want to like start adding like some physical moves? And I do think in Generation 3 it's like you could almost see it as like a flavorful thing. I got to be honest, one of my biggest reasons I don't want to do it is because if I do one move, it just opens the floodgates and everyone is going to ask me to do everything and be like, "Well, I'm mad that you didn't do the move that I want to." And and it's like that sucks. I probably shouldn't worry about that so much, but unfortunately I do worry about those things. And that's part of why I don't want to change Sceptile, because it's a slippery slope. If I change that, it's like, well, why isn't Gyarados dragon type? And it's like, unfortunately, it kind of ruins it, because it would be really cool flavor. It would be a really cool flavor thing. And yeah, exactly. A great here. Oh, thanks. I love it. Shout out to you, man. Good vibes. Good vibes. Vic, what do you say? It's for the best. Yeah. Unfortunately, I really think that Sceptile can become a really good Pokemon without Dragon typing, and I think Sceptile could become a really good pure Grass type. I think that Sceptile can actually get really good as a pure Grass type. And actually, while we're just talking about Sceptile, I don't want to talk about non-move stuff, but we have already kind of been talking about Sceptile a bit, so I think it's okay to talk about this. I would like to see Sceptile 120 special. I just think that this is a little too low. Like, this is lower than both of Blaziken's stats. Let's just bring all three of the boys up here. Oh wait, let's just look at Swampert. All three of the dogs. The other thing is Swampert actually has a more base stat. The other two have 530, and Swampert gets an extra 5. So you could argue that the other two should get 5 base stat, and I'm not opposed to that. But look at this. Blaziken with 120, 110. Hits like a truck. Swampert with 110 attack. And the Sweeper gets 105? Like, what the fuck is that, man? Like the problem with Sceptile is, like, I don't know if anyone plays Fire Emblem here, and I'm going to get to these super chats, but Sceptile is kind of like Fire Emblem 7 Lyn, where she just has too much speed and not enough power. Like literally, this is like a Lyn build, and no one gets that, so I'll just stop. But basically, like, the thing with giving a Pokemon a lot of speed is that eventually it has enough, and 120 is more than enough. I would rather a 110 speed and 115 special. Like, I don't need 120 speed as much as I need more power. I really don't like this. I think growth is totally open. I think the place we want to start with Sceptile, as much as I want Sceptile to get Dragon type, I think it would be so cool if we could just make it be a menace Grass type. And it's like, yeah, we made a Pokemon in a Grass type in Generation 3 is cracked. I would love that. I think that would feel so good. So that's like where I want to start with Sceptile, and if it still sucks, then we can go from there. But personally, what I would like to do is honestly, like, give it a pretty good special attack buff. Like, 120, maybe even 125. That might be too much. But what I think would be, like, move attack over here or something. Maybe give it like a little bit more HP or something. I don't know. But I do think that, like, a 120 would be very reasonable, considering that Blaziken gets that. And here's the thing. Blaziken is stands out as a mixed attacker. So, okay, cool. 120, 110. Swampert, honestly, just great across the board. Like, yeah, it's slow, but it has such good typing that it's fine. Sceptile spread is just not as much as I want. Like 85 attack, it doesn't want the attack. Like what is it doing with you know what I mean? Like what is it doing with that attack? Like Fury Cutter? Slam? Pound? Like what the fuck? Why did you give it all this attack? It doesn't need it. So yeah. A little aside there about Sceptile, but what about letting Sceptile learn growth? I think that's possible. I think it's worth thinking about. The other two get bulk up, so it's worth considering. And then yeah, for Sceptile, Dragon is too broken, Steel too defensive, Dark is no, Electric maybe. Really just buff Leaf Blade and give it Rock Slide. I don't know if Rock Slide feels appropriate for it, but I think Sceptile just becoming a cracked sweeper would be pretty sick. Like what if it just was like Alakazam but for grass types? Like it wouldn't be as good as Alakazam arguably, you know what I mean? Like if it had the same stats but it's a grass type, that would still probably be worse. If it was like 120 and like 135 special even, and that's probably too much, but yeah, so just some thoughts about Sceptile. E. Marty says if Leaf Blade cut Fury Cutter gets buffed, does Sceptile just become better? Yeah, like if Leaf Blade gets better, it gets a mid-power grass move like Razor Leaf, and cut becomes like a 55 power bug move even. That's pretty good through the mid game. Maybe you can even get a later bug move. Like that would be pretty cool. Although bug is physical, so not so cool. Yeah, I really just don't like that Sceptile is like trying to be a mixed attacker with that 85. Like I just think that attack could have been distributed in better places. And I think you'd get a much better Sceptile. So stuff to think about. And yeah. I don't think I've missed anyone. Tail Glow? Guys, I don't know if that's a move in this game. Is that a move in this game? Oh, it is. Cool. What a legend, Anthony. Thank you so much. We love that. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And thank you, Emma, our lovely host, for reading all their super chats. Yeah, that's a cool move, but it's a bug move, so we'll get to that later. Clamp, Comet Punch doing its thing. Covet, little boost in power. It's like a normal type thief. That's cool. Crab Hammer getting the boost that it needs because it's more of a crab move. Crunch will lower defense, so that will be a change because Dark is going to be physical. Cross Chop getting a boost, and Cross Chop might actually get a further boost. Maybe it'll go 90. We'll see about that, but we'll leave it at 85 for now. Dive is a super interesting one, man. I think the thing with Dive is like it actually does serve a place. Like if you got leftovers, Dive is actually a pretty useful move. I'm pretty cool with 80 Dive. I think we buffed that, right? Leftover strats make multi-moves really good, so I think that would allow it a niche versus Surf. I assume leftovers will probably be available because there'll probably be some gym leader teams that have leftovers. Ooh, give Huntail Tail Glow. Yeah, that's an interesting. I think Tail Glow. Yeah. Yeah, Ludicolo with Dive, leftovers, Leech Seed. Like that's nasty. And guys, that's the thing that I'm really excited about Emerald is like the strats get so much more exponentially sick in Gen 3. I think like Emerald's going to be a fairly hard game, balanced by the fact that you can get some fairly hard strats going. Like I think it's going to be like, I want it to be like really rewarding. Like you built these really cool builds and like, you know, to fight these really interesting fights. Focus miss. That's funny. Yeah, so cut to bug type. That's kind of just been a consistent thing. High crit ratio in this game, so 55 power, 95. So it's basically just bug type Razor Leaf. It's good for bug type. Dig definitely wants 10 power. Dig might even want more power for Gen 3. I think I think there's like a slight amount of power creep from Gen 2 to 3. It's very marginal, but I think there's a case to be made for 80 power Dig. Because like for me, I'm probably giving Dig to like Blaziken. Although 80 power on Swampert's a lot, but it is a 2-turn move. Sceptile with 105 speed and 90 attack and 15 sounds good to me. This is Gen 3, so 105 speed is still really good. Yeah, exactly, yo mom. Like, 120 speed is just, it's overkill for Gen 3. Like, I think in Gen 9, that's probably, like, slow. I'm not a huge, like, competitive guy in Gen 9, but I feel like that's, like, not that good, right? Fluttermane. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I tempted to like think about maybe even 75 Dig, but I'm gonna leave it at 70 because it has seen a buff. Dive at 80, I think, because Dive is later, right? And it's also competing with Surf. Dig is much earlier. Razor Wind into Dark type move. Kirby, I love you. I would like to welcome you to the Razor Wind club of people that want to do cool things with Razor Wind, and I say, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll think about that. I'm not really sure what to do. Razor Wind terrifies me. That move is so bad. There's so many things you could do with it. I've never really done anything with it because I just hate it. We'll see. Let's let Razor Wind. Let's let that be a last-minute decision. I'm terrified from a developmental standpoint of that move. So I'm sorry. Thank you for the super chat, and I send you my love. But that move freaks me out. Yeah. Shockwave Sceptile, I don't know, I don't know. Sceptile doesn't give electric vibes to me. Sceptile is truly going to be our like love letter in this game. Like, I just want to do so much for Sceptile and Blaziken too, actually. But yeah. Dizzy Punch, 70 power, 20% chance to confuse. Doom Desire. Probably needs fixing still. It's a 2-turn move. That was 120 power. It's terrible. It's fucking awful. What the fuck is Doom Desire? I'm sorry. I know I don't swear that often, but like, that's to make the times I do swear like necessary. The turn Doom Desire is selected. This attack will do nothing other than state that the user has chosen Doom Desire as its destiny. 2 turns later will do damage against the target. Damage dealt uses the attack stat of the user and defense stat of the target at the time of the moon selection. Does not have a type. It is not affected by a type effectiveness. The fuck? The fuck is this move? And what is its purpose? Oh, Chris. Oh my God. Holy shit. I just inadvertently roasted Future Sight because this move is just Future Sight. And I was like, what is this move? Ooh, okay, Daniel, that is a good question. Like a Thunder Punch. I could see a Thunder Punch Sceptile in the post game. Like, yeah, like sure. Post game stuff. For sure. For sure. I could definitely see that. Good God. Doom Desire. Okay. Sure. It's better than it's Future Sight. So fair. It's not like it's a 2-turn charge up. Whatever. Dragon Claw. I saw someone just say it. Dragon Eaters. Yeah, Slifer. Dragon Claw 90 power. Dragon fans are eating good tonight. So Dragon Breath to 70. Dragon Claw to 90. Dragon Claw needs to be 90. 80's fine, but like Dragon's just not that offensively good. I think it does a lot. I think it's going to help Sceptile. We'll probably leave Dragon Special. As unfortunate as that would be, like Flygon. What is Flygon? Physical attacker. Salamence is a physical attacker, right? There's no way Salamence is a special attacker. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Altaria is not really an attacker, so okay. I kind of just want to leave. I think we kind of got to leave Dragon alone because then you're off. Like there's more physical types than there are special types. It's imbalanced. I think Dragon special 90 power. Oh, it gets Thunder Punch post game. Sick. Ice Punch Blaziken. No, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Salamence has more special attack than like what? Ghost type should stay physical. Shadow Ball should be a physical move. Listen. I'm not here to have these kinds of discussions. Please don't waste my time. No, stop that. I will not allow chat to derail stream. Fan attack to 70. Egg Bomb to grass type. I guess we haven't implemented that yet, but we are. You know what? I'll do it right now. Egg Bomb to grass type. I'll do it. I'm not a coward. Flame Wheel +5. So that Flame Wheel actually is probably what. Wait, let me see. Are there any new fire moves in this game? Blast Burn. Oh, that's a Charizard Sig. That's not even in this game. Blaze Kick, Eruption, Heat Wave, Overheat. Dude, Fire actually got some pretty good moves. Like Eruption is Water Spout for fire types. That's a sick move. Heat Wave. What is Heat Wave currently at? And what is Heat Wave normally? 10% chance to burn. 100% accuracy. Is Heat Wave just that it hits both targets? So it's Flamethrower, but it hits both targets. Oh, Egg Bomb. Thank you. I forgot the accuracy. Well, I guess we're just buffing that to 100% accuracy. Heat Wave is Fire Surf. That's actually really freaking cool. That's really cool. Remember double spread. I think they're half power in this. Can someone confirm that? Someone said that earlier. I believe that's correct. Not 0.75. Okay, so what we did with Heat Wave is we just literally made it surf. So we so we lowered the power to 95, but raised its accuracy. It's much better now. Make Flash do 1 damage. No. Are you nerfing Body Slam to equal Dragon Breath? No, because well, I don't really understand why we do that. Because Body Slam is neutral. It doesn't hit anything for super effective. If both hits, it's just better Flamethrower now, though. Exactly. You are correct. So, you'll distribute that, interestingly. Like, I think that's like a move for like Camerupt and Torkoal. Like, I think that's going to make those Pokemon maybe a little bit more interesting. Spread moves with 75% of their base power was always weirdly better Flamethrower. Yeah, because it used to do 100 power but 90 accuracy. Yeah, like it just not a lot of moves to get it. Yeah, like Banette using Shadow Punch that gives physical damage. Like, I'm so in love with that idea, and I just hate that people will take that and run and want to make everything do physical damage. I'm just going to be honest. If that's something we're going to do, it is going to be pretty end of the road, because I just don't want to listen to people tell me to like make other moves that they want. Like, oh, well, now you have to make all the other punches. The reason I think Shadow Punch works well is because Ghost type is a little bit off-brand always. Ghost always has weird stuff like Curse and stuff. Weird stuff going on for it. So that I could see Shadow Punch. Yeah, Blaziken to learn high jump kick. Have we actually got there yet? We haven't, but yeah, I think high jump kick. We haven't moved to 120 power, but that's what it is in the other games. Jump kick is 90. My big thing with Blaziken is like it is really, really rough late game just due to enemies. Like you've got flying, psychic, grass or water, Team Aqua, which really isn't that much water. Honestly, Blaziken's great against Team Aqua, but our Aqua will be very Aqua based. Glacia, Juan, Sydney's Crawdaunt, theoretically, and Wallace, all really threatening Blaziken. So I'm very open to making like Blaziken better. I think like one thing with Blaziken is that yeah, like let's talk fighting moves too, right? Like Blaziken gets Sky Uppercut at level 59. 25 more power, not even accurate at 59. You get double kick at 16. 43 more levels for 25 more power and less accuracy? Like, what does this have? It can hit Pokemon when they're flying. Because of all the enemies that you fight that use fly. Wow, it hits fly. Yeah, so that's the problem. Is then you just have to give Blaziken the Brick Break TM. And I don't even feel like Brick Break is that appropriate. Like, of all the moves that you have to give Blaziken, it's Brick Break, which is like fists. And Blaziken's getting double kick, Blaze kick, like an uppercut. Okay, sure, I guess that's not so kick, but an uppercut kind of suggests like strong legs. I want Blaziken to get more kicking moves. Like, I think Blaziken is a kicking fighter, you know? And I really hate that you have to spend Brick Break on Blaziken because I just think it's really unfortunate. Yeah, it's just so far into the game to then have to invest it on your fighting type for just 15 more power too. Like, it feels so bad. It feels so bad. And you're running Blaze Kick that isn't even accurate. Like, just give it Flamethrower or even Overheat if you're crazy. I think, yeah, maybe like Jump Kick for at level 59. Let's talk about Sky Uppercut because that's a move that I don't love. So currently we buffed it to 90 power, 95% accuracy. Oh, so that actually makes it on par with our changes to Jump Kick. So 95 and 90. But Sky Uppercut is better because there's none of that miss take damage. Plus it does hit fly or bouncers. Yeah, I think that actually does kind of work the way, like, and again, this is kind of what I'm talking about, where like we do have to think about these moves in the context of how they're going to go to Pokemon. So we do have to think about learn sets a little bit, but the focus of this stream is not learn sets. I'm honestly open to Sky Uppercut having 100% accuracy. A lot of people are actually saying they want it. Blaze Kick should do the same effect as Brick Break. No, it doesn't need a third ability. Buff Sky Uppercut and make it fighting type Hurricane. Sky Uppercut is exclusive to Blaziken. No, it can also hit. Breloom also gets it, and that's the thing is Breloom gets it at level like 36, I think. Like, when does Breloom get it? It's so much better. Like 36. The problem is Breloom has Mach Punch, which is awful on it. Like Breloom wants like a 60 base power move, or even like 50. Like Mach Punch is fine on Breloom, when it's super effective, because it's becoming 120 power. Like Stab makes it 60 and then doubles to 120. So like super effective hits from Mach Punch are good on Breloom, but like and it's like priority moves. So like I think Mach Punch is okay on Breloom. But there are a lot of cases where you're using Headbutt over Mach Punch. And that's a fair point. Like, yeah, Breloom is really good. Mach Punch is good on Breloom because it has an insane 130 power. Does Breloom have 130? I actually thought it was 120. That's crazy, man. Wow, that's good. Yeah, and that is the other point, Reggie. Yeah, like having a priority move with that attack and stab fighting is like, it's pretty good. Yeah. Oh Jesus. Oh no. We've finally. It's that time of the stream, and I'm sorry. Like, I guess maybe I shouldn't even be sorry, but like, I'm just gonna leave it. I want to say something mean about what someone says something in chat. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't think it would be very appropriate to make Sky Uppercut hit flying type super effectively. Although that is really cool. So yeah, I don't know. Like, should Sky, like, that's my biggest thing with Blaziken is its signature moves don't hit. Like, here's the thing. You have Swampert, 100% accuracy, 95 power Surf, 100% accuracy, 100 power Earthquake. Blaziken gets like worse power and worse accuracy. And like, yes, it has better attack, but like, I just think that Blaziken is like a mixed attacker that's not super fast, still kind of frail. Swampert is like kind of beefy with good attack, kind of like a wall, or I guess like a tank, we call that. And then Sceptile is like the sweeper. Like, I think that's a perfect, yeah. Yeah, Reggie. Also, I think that's so funny. Like, Breloom is arguably the game's best grass type because it is an amazing fighting type. Like, it's so funny. Like, it's just like, it's amazing grass type for nothing to do with grass. Feels fair considering, like, if the goal is to make the game that feels nostalgia, hero moments where you need the move to, no hero moments where you need the move to miss, you know? Yeah. You came back from another timeout, another spam. Leaf Blade is the best. It's actually the worst. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's perfectly accurate, so. The thing with, like, you know, giving Sky Uppercut this cool, like, oh, double damage to, like, if you're using Fly, that's just not a nerf. That's just not a buff, man. Like, that's going to be, you might run into that interaction once in a game. Like, that's just not a buff. But Leaf Blade is cool. I can agree with that. Leaf Blade is a cool last move. Where is Ninetales erupting from? Oh, no. Yeah, Leaf Blade is like one of the most badass moves in the game. And honestly, Blaze Kick is pretty cool too. Oh, Mark, sorry, I missed your super chat. Is it possible to make Ninetales fire ghost type? No fire, no type changes. Sorry, I'm sorry for missing it, but yeah, no type changes. Let's make Sky Uppercut 100% accurate, 85 power. That's pretty good if it comes at, like, earlier. That's a really good fighting move. Like, fighting's a great type. Oh my god. Blaze, why do you guys want so much for Blaze Kick? It's like, make it like flinch and high crit and burn and fighting type. Isn't that similar to Brick Break? It's 10 more than Brick Break, and I think for a signature move, that's pretty solid. Not quite signature, but for two Pokemon maybe. Breloom's arms can stretch. Yeah, so that's the crazy thing with Breloom is it actually doesn't jump. its arm just stretches a ridiculously amount, like kind of like a go-go gadget, a sky uppercut. Yeah. And give it a chance to Oko. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like fighting's really good. You should make Blaze kick 120 power. Okay. I gotta start calling out dumbass ideas. I think you're joking, but Jesus Christ, guys. All right. Goku Gadget Mach Punch. The thing is, we need to slightly bully bad ideas, because if you just say, yeah, that's okay, then you encourage that behavior. Why don't we just give it amnesia, guys, at this point? I don't know. I kind of like 100% accuracy, 85% power. I just want a Sky Uppercut to hit. That's pretty good. Like, that's gonna be really, I mean, I guess the thing is, it's not getting stronger, it's just getting more consistent. And the thing is like, if you want a little more power, I guess you could go with high jump kick, but it can miss. I don't know if you talked about this yet, but Leaf Blade being 90 base power in this game, like it is in the later, would be good. Yeah, we've given it up to 80. 85 currently, and we're gonna sit in that too, right? Because the other thing is, like, there's also like like, you gotta think of everything as levers, right? And Leaf Blade is really just a lever for Sceptile, but we'll also be like adding special attacks. So I don't think 90 yet, just because like we're gonna still see more buffs to Sceptile. Leech life to 40. Don't come at me with that. It will in later gens. It's 80. If you do that, I will kick you in the dick. Because we are bringing back bullying. Okay. If you say leech life should be 80 power, this entire group chat is gonna come to your house, one at a time. Just kick. It's not gonna feel good. And if you don't have a dick, I don't know. I guess you get a pass. How do we sorry, I don't know, man. I've been through 2 generations of this now, and my capacity for bad ideas is lower. So bring back bullying 2024. How do we think about balancing priority moves and availability with so many availability in Gen 3? I think priority moves are in a pretty okay spot, Daniel. I think it's pretty okay. But I do think there's room to think about it, you know? So for now, I'm fine. It would be funny if Sky Uppercut worked like Anti-Roost, giving you Levitate effect for 1 turn. That's funny. Is there a flying type that can learn Fly? I don't think so, but that would be crazy if it add as like this. Would it add vulnerability? I don't know. I know it's a bit early to mention, but with all the event islands also obtainable post game, oh yeah, you know we're bringing that stuff out. Also, the odds of Mirage Island be appearing, totally, all that stuff, all that content that was locked behind doors will be brought into the game for sure. Bully me, please, Yugi. You don't even have a take. That's how lame you are. Salamence and Rayquaza learn Fly. Shake Silver, I am bullying you. Or did I say, can any flying types learn Fly? I meant, can non-flying types. Damn it, bully me. I deserve it. Knockoff to 50 power. The idea is that, like, Thief is better than Knockoff. Kind of. I guess situational. The nice thing about Knockoff is you can still run an item, so I guess it is better. We buffed it quite a bit though. This isn't competitive though, so I think it should be probably okay still. Flygon learns Fly. Okay. Does Flygon take ground damage the turn? Oh, you're always invulnerable on Fly. Okay, chat, bully me. Let me have it. Let me have it. Let me have it. I'm like, are you invulnerable to ground moves during a... Oh, man. Give me the shame. It's okay. Lick, 40 power. Mach Punch, yeah, we gave 10 to Mach Punch. So there's an example of priority getting a little bit better. I think that's okay. We just found 40 a little low. Especially because, like, it's not... Breloom isn't the only Pokemon that gets it. So... Miracle Leaf. Never misses, does not check accuracy. I think there's still room to maybe do more with Miracle Leaf, but for now, I think that's fine. Altaria learns Aeroblast at level 58. Are you saying it does or it should? Because that's actually, like, not the worst idea. I feel like Sacred Fire and well, they're signature moves for legendaries, but, like, whatever, it's not their game. Oh God, I hate Altaria. How could you do this to my boy? Like, okay. Look at this. Look at this majestic creature. And now look at this. I don't think Altaria learns Aeroblast, but it should. That'd be cool. Anyway, we're not totally talking about that. So, guys, we're talking about moves, okay? Mega Punch, 90 power, whatever. Mega Kick, 120 power, hasn't been implemented yet, but yeah. Metal Claw, 70. I think I have to agree with that. 50's kind of weak, and the Steel types do be needing it. Especially because, like, there's going to be a lot more coverage added to this game, so Aeron line is going to be in shambles. Meteor Mash. Yeah, so Meteor Mash, we actually wanted to just make, like, a good Steel type move. So we lowered its power, but added accuracy. So it's 90 power, 100% accurate. 20% chance to raise attack. I actually think that's a pretty nice... I feel like Meteor Mash was fine as is. At most, all it needed was a slight accuracy increase. I think that's also fair. Maybe we want to rework it. I kind of like it as, like, just a perfect accuracy move. Maybe even 95 power, to be fair. But I think that's a pretty good move. It should stay 100 for being only on one family. Yeah. It's now Super Metal Claw. That's true. I think there's a chance we maybe give another Pokemon or two Meteor Mash. I like Aeron. I can't really think of anything else that would learn it. I don't know. Maybe Mawile should get Meteor Mash. I don't know. The Flamethrower of Steel type moves. And Iron Tail. Yeah, like there's Steel's in a weird place, so open to that. Muddy Water. Right, so Surf, but 30% chance to lower speed. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good signature move, actually. That is better than Surf. The only problem with Surf is that, like, you kind of need it to, like, navigate. So maybe that's not good. But Mud Slap, slight buff. Needle Arm, actually. Actually, Needle Arm's got a pretty cool buff. So we added 30 power to it. This is currently just on Cacnea. But 30% chance to lower target's special defense. Because there's not really many moves that lower special defense. And I know, like, Needle Arm, like, you get needles in you. I know it's a little weird, but the point is that, like, it's a grass move. So, like, if it used to lower defense, and that was, like, kind of stupid. Meteor Mash is a punch with a fist. Meteor Mash seems weird with the wide accessibility. Yeah. Whoa, Cacnea Sweep. Yeah, I think that's a really fun move. And part of it is just that, like, Cacnea is kind of like all grass types. I don't know, like, why would you run Cacnea over Sceptile? So it's kind of like a cool signature little thing for that line. Needle Arm not flinching is better since Cacnea was slow. Oh, maybe that was it. Maybe that it was the flinch chance. We were like, what's the point on Cacnea? So yeah. Yeah, I make a drop, spikes on the ground for Needle Arm. Setting up a layer of spikes. That would be really cool. Again, guys, I think we're getting a little bit past, like, there's no move that does that in Gen 3, right? Like, I think you need to think about what Gen 3 did, right? I know we want to get creative, but it's tough to add things that didn't exist in the game to begin with. And I'm just not familiar with anything like that in Gen 3. What's your thoughts on either keeping the post-game Steven battle or making the Elite Four higher levels, ending up the levels with... Yeah, so Walter, I had a question about this earlier, and I don't want to talk about this right now just because we're kind of looking at just moves right now, but I did say I would talk about this at the end of the video to the other person, and I will say the exact same thing to you. I will talk about my ideas around that at the end of the stream. So thank you very much. But it's a lot to talk about, and we'll derail the stream. So just bear with me. Yeah, and that's I see another thing. Like, shouldn't we buff pedal bit dance to 120? Biggest thing, guys, is like I just gotta say, if you're gonna be involved in this process, like you gotta think Gen 3, okay? You're taking future ideas and trying to throw them into this game. And this game is not balanced around Gen 4. This game is not balanced around Gen 5, and so on. This game was balanced around Gen 3, and you can't bring all that power creep into it, okay? So if you're saying, oh, it should be 120 power because that's like in a future game, that's a great idea to maybe consider. But you have to ask yourself, am I saying this because, like, okay, this is something they did in future games. Cool, let's consider it as an idea. But the thing is, like, we're not just going to do it because they did it in future generations. We have to say, is this balanced within the confines of Generation 3? And I think a lot of people miss that when they suggest things. I just want to be really clear about that, because like I just don't want people to waste their time and their effort, because it's one of the most common things I see is like in Gen 9 they did this, and it's like, well, this you can't Gen 9 it. So anyway, just a little preface makes everyone's life a little bit better. Pin missile getting boosted. I feel like we kind of got thrown off here. Muddy Water, Mud Slap, Needle Arm, Octazooka, 50% chance to lower accuracy. Bro, I don't know, man. Don't talk to me about Octazooka. Outrage, we actually did buff to 120. And the reason we did that is because the dragons in this game don't have like super good special attack. And so this was kind of like the balance idea, right? So that's why, in this context, it feels right. But Pedal Dance is like, well, in the context of Generation 3, there's some Pokemon with pretty decent special attack that get Pedal Dance. So, like, it's kind of like a balancing act for, like, some of the dragons. You see what I mean? I don't know if we're going to keep it that way, by the way. The other thing is that Outrage was already 90. Pedal Dance was 70. So to suggest 120 is a 50 power buff, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's a lot. And as Reggie said, Pedal Dance is found on earlier on grass types, whereas Outrage is like a very late game move. Again, though, I could be open to like 100. I could be open to 100. I think 120, especially like some of the earlier spots, is just a lot for this generation. But yeah, it's only 70, which I think we can all agree is terrible. But ironically, in this game is actually not that bad because there's like no better moves than it. Like Needle Dance is like Miracle Leaf is 60, Needle Arm is 60, Leaf Blade is 70, and that's considered good. And it's like, why is Game Freak so scared of making grass type good? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's just a bad type, and they're like, well, we can't give it 2 strong moves, and it's like, well, you did that to water. You didn't care when you gave every single water type a like 95 power. 100's had base power is my answer. Grass sucks, and Pokemon who learn it are also slow and not good. And that's a fair case. And maybe you know what? Maybe I am wrong to say that Pedal Dance shouldn't be that. I'd buff Pedal Dance to 100. You do lock yourself into it. Okay. I think there's enough to warrant another 10 power change. So let's go for 100 right now. Let's go for 100 right now. And I think that's like a good place to see how that feels. Because grass type has healing, I guess. But not all grass types have healing. That's the thing, right? It's like, yeah, the healing grass type sure shouldn't get these strong moves. Sceptile doesn't get that, you know? Also multi-apples, thank you. Hey. I agree. It's not that big of a drawback in this game. But maybe for the AI. Poison Fang to 60, 30% chance to badly poison the target. That's a good move. Like, to get the toxic off with Poison Fang, I like that. I think that's cool. Poison Tail. This is a move that a lot of people have been excited about. A lot of, like, long time coming for, like, a good move. Originally 50 power. Terrible. We've actually boosted it to 85, 100% accuracy. I think... oh, yeah, grass types have chlorophyll, too. I think that's pretty big for Viper stocks. Needs a power buff at all. I don't know, man. I just think the reason I think it needs it is that poison is an awful type. Poison Fang and Poison Tail should flip-flop. No, because I think Poison Fang thematically makes more sense because it's like it's getting like the poison is getting really deep into your it's getting into your blood, whereas Poison Tail is like more of a surface hit. And I do think Viper needs the love. Like Zangoose is pretty good. So Savipey. Savipey. Why do I love that? Savipey. Poison is weak offensive type, and 60 power for Poison Fang is still weaker than Sludge at 65. Poison and Grass and Ice are usually the worst type, so bigger buffs is warranted. Exactly. Why are you so many crit moves above 70 power? So Viper's Tail literally is a blade, though. Yeah, exactly. So that makes sense to me. Sludge Bomb, we... 90. 30 target. I guess we just boosted its PP. Honestly, Sludge Bomb could probably go to 95. Like, I think it could probably be Surf, and that's... I think that would be okay. Like, Sludge 65, Sludge Bomb. Yeah, I don't see why it can't be 95. It's Poison type. And I think like probably like some evil teams might benefit from that too. Sludge Bomb. I feel like too many people are scared of making poison too good that they would just rather leave it. Kind of lacking. I feel like there aren't many good poison moves that learned them. Sludge Wave, but bomb form. So Shedinja with 10 HP? What? Do Muck and Weezing learn any fire moves? Yeah, pretty sure. The world would be... Yeah, if every type has a 95 power, 100% accuracy move, the world would be a better place. I think there's a case that Leaf Blade could be 95 power. I'll say it. You know, and maybe if you make Leaf Blade 95 power, you don't even really have to buff Sceptile's special attack. I feel like Leaf Blade is kind of deserving of like, wouldn't Leaf Blade feel good to be in the Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt tier? Like, it's deserving. It's got the cool factor of those moves. Or you could even just give that additional 5 special that Swampert gets to, like, Sceptile's special attack. 90 base power Surf is needed. Yeah, we're not going to nerf anything, though. Let's make sure to check on the moves earlier up. There's a good amount we skipped to check on Sludge Bomb. Oh yeah, thank you, actually. Did I do Sludge Bomb? Right, yeah, okay. So Psywave, Razor Winds. Oh, we made Razor Wind a trap and damage move and flying type in this generation. Ta-da! Don't talk to me about Razorwood. We lowered Recover so that enemies can't stall you out with it. Open to change that. Rock Blast. 25 power move. We up the accuracy to 90%. Attacks 2 to 5 times in a row. Rock Slide to 80 power, 90% accuracy. I don't know. Rock Tomb, by the way, got a buff. Oh yeah, Rock Tomb actually got a pretty big buff. We upped it to 95% accuracy. I feel like Rock Tomb was made 80% accurate just so that Roxanne wouldn't be so hard. I feel like that's the only reason that move is so bad. I guess it also lowers speed. So Rock Tomb's gonna be pretty good. 60 power, lower speed. Yeah, Roxanne will mess you up now. Yeah, no, Surf does not need a nerf. Leave Surf alone. Yeah, that's the one thing though. Like I do hate not having any 100% accurate rock moves. Like rock is a really good type, to be fair. And Rock Slide does have a 30% chance to flinch. Rock Throw 95, Rock Tomb 95. Yeah, I do kind of feel like inaccuracy is part of its identity. I don't think we did that for any other. Did we make Rock Slide 95 though in Crystal? Can we see Rock Slide? Oh my God, Reggie, you're reading my mind. Maybe lower the flinch chance to 20. Yeah, what is with the Surf nerfs, man? What rock type other than Aerodactyl will be rolling for the flinch? Exactly. Yeah, actually that is a good point. I kind of agree. I think like Rock Throw is 95% accuracy. I feel like in your upgrade from Rock Throw to Rock Slide, like you don't want to be like losing accuracy. Like even though I still would run Rock Slide, losing accuracy feels kind of bad. But I do think that inaccurate is kind of inaccurate, like not perfect accurate is part of its identity. So I think I would be willing to buff it to 95. Oh, I said 94. Hee. Honestly, I don't even know if the flinch chance needs to go down. Rock Blast could be 100 accuracy. Making it so aggro and actually gets rock moves would make rock so much more relevant. Yeah. Oh, it will. Don't worry. We'll give it the ride-on treatment. Because Game Freak gave it the ride-on treatment, so we are now going to give it our ride-on treatment. Do Rock Throw 100% accuracy. 95 and flinch check on both opponents in doubles is kind of crazy. Oh, good call, Libra. That's a great call. It's also, it's so funny, like, seeing you throwing that out there because, like, I know with Yellow, it was like, you were just like, I don't know anything about this game. I've never played Generation 1. So I just got so used to that. So it's so funny hearing you just, like, spitting facts on Gen 3. But yeah, 85 power, 90 accuracy. I kind of like the 95, but God, I've always hated balancing these guys. Maybe make Surf hit your ally in doubles. No, God, stop. Don't even talk about Surf to me. I kind of like 85, 90. I don't know about the 30% flinch, though. I've been studying the blade. Drop to 85, keep flinch. I vote to try 95 and see if the doubles case is an issue. Yeah, I think let's leave it here. Rock moves being accurate hurt my soul for some reason. 80-90 is fair. Flinch rate is the problematic aspect. Yeah, okay. I agree with you, Reggie. I think the thing of this that I like the least is the flinch rate. Like, I think I'd rather 95-80 and lower flinch rate. Let's start with that. Okay, let's start with oh, sorry, the power isn't even boosted here. 80, 95, 20%. Rock Slide, 80 power, 95 ac, 20 flinch. Is the cap for rock moves. It is the best rock move in the game. Like, I think we can give it, I don't know. Wait. Does Rock Slide always have 30% flinch? Damn it, I thought we buffed it. Oh, I thought it was always 20. Oh, it's 30. Oh, it's always 30. Okay. I see. Okay, I don't know if I want to lower the flinch then. So... Yeah, Ancient Power kind of feels like it falls outside of the rock niche though, because like Rock Blast, you're blasting rocks. Rock Slide, you're making a rock slide. You're dropping rocks. Rock Throw, you're throwing rocks. Rock Tomb, you're dropping rocks on them to create them in a tomb. Like they're all very like rocks are falling on you. Ancient Power is kind of like wonkery. So Ancient Power is cool. The flinch also doesn't matter. Rock Slide just has to stay, in my opinion. It's mostly on slow Pokemon anyway. Most rock types are super slow. Ancient Power is for false Pokemon. That too. Doesn't feel like a move that should have wide distribution. Yeah, exactly. I kind of think I like 80 and 95, guys. I think we just leave it there. Let's give Rock something good and see how it feels, okay? So 5 power, 5 accuracy. We'll see how it feels. The only Pokemon that should be really good is like Aerodactyl in doubles, which doesn't exist in an actual playthrough. And we will put it in like the Battle Frontier or some post-game fight in doubles to make you hate your life. Other than that, it should be okay. Rock Smash to 60 power. How do we feel about that? I think that might be too much. I kind of think that Rock Smash to 60 is a lot to give everything a 60 power fighting move. It was 60. Okay, it was 60 in... So it's headed. It's only 20% chance to hit. It is 60 in Crystal Legacy. I think part of it is that with Creep, I'm like, what Pokemon are gonna get this that it's gonna be better on? At the same time, though, like if it's 60, I'm gonna be like, oh, I just got here. I'm gonna give it to my Combuskin, and no thoughts. It's just an upgrade. Thank you, game. A little upgrade. It's a rival to Aerial Ace and Water Pulse's coverage. And that's the thing. Fighting is way better in Emeralds. That's why I think we need to think about it. I think 40 power is just like you're not going to use it even with the drop. It seems boring to have it 60. The thing is, 100% accuracy, 90 power. Okay, as an HM, it should be usable. That's the thing. And that's the thing is we want to make HMs like viable. Other than Whirlpool, because Jesus Christ, what do you do with that thing? But it's a buff to Smash Stomp. Nice for Watson's Magneton. Yeah, that's my thing, is I just feel like we could lower it to 50 power and bump back its chance to lower defense by 50. I feel like 50 chance is a lot, but... I guess I'm not going to worry about it like with Combuskin for now. Because you're just giving it to you're giving a fighting coverage move to so many people. And again, it's just like fighting is going to do more in this generation for what's going to get it strong and good coverage early. Like I think that is pretty strong. Like it's before the third gym. Like giving everything a 60 power move is pretty good. 40 and always debuff. 60-50, 60-30, or 50-50. 50 chance isn't game breaking as long as its damage is low. If you drop the chance to 30, that's like water pulse. 50 and 50 is fair. 50 is still super effective to 100. It does help with Magneton, which is kind of interesting, actually. I actually think 60 base power to like a lot of Pokemon is a pretty big deal early. Like that's, again, like that makes Swampert way better. Really, it's like Swampert that I don't like it getting. 50-30 if we're being conservative with it. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good way to frame it, Reggie, is like 50-30 is like the conservative end. Yeah, 50-30 is really good for coverage if you plan on giving native to stab fighters. Thank you for doing this. The fact that you do this for the community, who some people has their favorite game, relive their nostalgia, also makes. Oh my God, I'm gonna. Let's try that again, okay? Nick, thank you for doing this. The fact that you do this for the community, who are some people has this as their favorite game, relive their nostalgia like me at its finest. Replying Emerald right now. Thank you. I'm sorry that took me a little bit to get through, but thank you, dude. It's fun. It started as a fun project, and I feel like it's been a really cool thing that we've done on this channel. So I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I appreciate the support. So, chat, can we please show some love to Nick? Thank you so much for the dono, and I appreciate the love. I think I really don't know. I think I just want to leave it as is right now, and we'll see how it feels. I think we'll just leave it 60-20, and I think we'll just have to play and be like, oh, that's a little too strong, or that's fine. Yeah, and so that's what it is in Crystal Legacy. It might be fine. Rolling kick to 70 power. Chance to make the foe flinch. That could be a fun upgrade for Blaziken, actually. If maybe like level 25 it got rolling kick. So double kick is 60 power. There it is. I was waiting for that to come through. Thank you again, Nick. I kind of like rolling kick, like for Blaziken. I think that would be kind of cool. Could be kind of a cool thing. In memory of all the times Pikachu died in Yellow Legacy. Thank you, Arrow. I'm so glad to be moved on to Emerald. Like, I'm really glad we did Yellow, but I didn't have the feeling of like, wow, I'm done. I'm glad to be done this generation. Like, I was like fine to be done with Crystal, but I was like, oh, I love Crystal. Yellow was just like, oh, I'm so glad we're out of this. I think everyone felt that way. Yeah, I think rolling kick for Kobeskin around 22-27 would be fantastic. Just a little buff flinch chance. Like, that's kind of a nice little tiered upgrade. Yeah, remove the limit for move tutors. I think that's what we'll do, is probably just bring him one love disc carcass, and you can just do it forever. Sand Tomb. Don't even want to talk about it. Shadow Punch, we buffed to 70. Never misses, does not check accuracy. I'm not in love with this move. I don't see why you would ever run Shadow Punch over Shadow Ball. I feel like Shadow Punch could probably become another 80 power move, and just stylistically, it's kind of like Shadow Ball, but different. You know what I'm saying? I think I think I might want to just buff Shadow Punch. It's Swift. But the thing is it's not Swift because it's like Dusclop's final move. It's not like the Pokemon who learn it are more powerful. Exactly. Like I just think yeah. I think 80 power is probably not gonna hurt it. Whoa. Oh, that's so cool. It's just like, it's kind of stylistically off. I've just wanted to do something with Shadow Punch. 10% chance to curse. Oh, I hate how cool that is. Oh, I hate how cool that is. I feel like we couldn't do that. Like, that's so broken. Oh, it's so cool, though. God damn it. A chance to curse is so strong, though, because, like, you hit, and it's just like, this thing is dead. It's not priority, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's just, Fear move affected, King's Rock affected. I don't think it's yeah, it's 0 priority. Maybe low flinch would be more realistically fair. Yeah, I feel like flinch would be better. Oh, that would be so cool, though. I love that idea. Oh, Shadow Sneak is the priority ghost move, yeah. Damn. Damn. Zach coming out here with the facts, though. He says, to be fair, ... Ice Beam. And that's straight facts. Like, freezing is kind of just like, congrats, this Pokemon is dead. I don't know if I've ever frozen a Pokemon with Ice Beam, guys. Like, does Ice Beam actually have a 10% chance to freeze? Because I think in my, like, 17,000 hours of playing Pokemon, I've never actually landed a freeze with Ice Beam. I don't know if anyone else has that experience. Ugh, that would be so... And the thing is like, if any type is gonna get something that's, like, never been done before, it would be Ghost. It still is kind of out of the realm of this game, but god damn it, that's cool. Because you always KO them with Ice Cream. That's facts too, I guess. Oh, that's right. It's 0.1% for you and 50% for enemies. We're gonna write it down. I'm just gonna make it 80 power for now. 10% chance to curse, question mark. Shadow Ball would have to get, like, kind of better, but it's such a good idea. Put Curse Shadow Punch in the Halloween version of Emerald Legacy. I mean, it would be cool, but it's just... Okay, I'll tell you what, no matter what happens, sure, like, maybe sub side patch. Problem with side patches is then people think it's like a legit version. Like, everyone's like, oh, you made the starters dual type in Crystal Legacy. And it was like, no. I was like, guys, here's like a random, like, side patch if you want to just, like, see what it's like. And they're like, it's annoying. Anyway, could just keep Shadow Punch at lower power for the extra effect chance. Yeah, that's true too. Like, if we were to add that, I can't code that in right now. I think, like, maybe I don't know. It's just stylistically so damn badass. Yeah, like 70 power if it is. But anyway, we haven't implemented that yet, so I'm just going to make it 80. Sharpen is mainly to separate it from Meditate and Howl, which both do the same thing. It would also give Pokemon like Farfetch'd and Porygon study. So yeah, Sharpen basically would become Hone Claws. I think Sharpen on, actually, of all the Pokemon, like, some rock types with Sharpen would be really cool. Sharpen is just fine. It should be available to more Pokemon. Yeah, I think that would be cool, though, because, like, Howl got introduced in this game, and, like, a lot of early Pokemon get it, so Sharpen kind of, like, loses its niche. Yeah, Skarmory I think would be cool, but really like the rock types that have like inaccurate moves. Also, Jesse, welcome to the champion tier. Signal Beam. Actually, so Signal Beam's gonna be like the Shadow Ball kind of move, I guess, of some bug types. And then Silverwind is still basically just like bug type Omni Boost, Ancient Power, but more PP. Don't want to talk about Skull Bash, raises user defense, whatever. Sky Attack is now just, y'all know what Sky Attack is at this point, I hope. Sky Uppercuts, so we've raised its accuracy. Signal Beam should be a more Pokemon level up as well. Yeah, totally. Oh my God, Jesse with 10 gifts. Thank you, dude. We love that. Let's see some hearts in the chat. Let's throw some hearts. Hey, and Bryce got member. That's cool. That's so awesome. Thank you, man. We love that. We love the community vibe. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Let's keep it rolling. Clap. We love. By buffing Signal Beam, you're buffing a lot of psychic types since they run it for coverage darks. I don't know if that's true. I don't know any. What learns it? Sky Attack, Sky Uppercut, Slam. Yeah. I think that was an intentional choice to just add 5. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Slam. Want to give support. Also mentioned that changing Shadow Ball will affect Battle Frontier Pokemon you fight if you're changing Battle Frontier. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, there's definitely some changes. We'll have to do Battle Frontier stuff. So there are lots of things we must consider, but for now, yeah. Smelling Salt's getting a little bit of a buff. Do we actually? Oh, we made it a fighting type move. I think that makes sense to become fighting. Is Smelling Salt's? I actually thought it was a fighting move. Is it fighting later or something? I don't know. Anyway, I think that's fine. Snore getting the boost. Thanks again, Detective. Spike Cannon becomes Steel. 30 power. Attacks 2 to 5 times in a row. Giving Steel that buff. Yeah. Steel Wing. 70. Again, a lot of people are like, why are you making all these moves accurate? But I think the thing is the types that don't have good accuracy are just unused. Like Steel Wing, it's like, oh, this type that is already offensively bad also misses. Why? Yeah, Fortress was so bad in Crystal Legacy we had to buff Spike Cannon again. I don't know. I just think it's fine when every single fire move has perfect accuracy, but when you want to buff Steel, it's well, why are we buffing that? I don't know. I do agree that all moves being at 100 power it is a little boring, but the thing is not all moves are 100 power. There's some power moves that are late game that are higher power. There are still moves that are that can miss, but the problem is you can say it's boring, but there's just a bunch of moves that people don't use. You're just not going to use it. So it's kind of the reality of things. It also buffs NPC teams as well. Yeah. Yeah, where were we? Stockpile, was it? Raises user special defense and special. A common suggestion was made for this move to give the user defense and special defense up to 3 times, just like in Gen 4 and beyond. This is too difficult to program. Ignore the suggestion. Something to think about. I think it's a good suggestion because the move is useless and it needs something. And I don't think that would be too overpowered in Gen 3. Notice you misnamed Magical Leaf as Miracle Leaf. That's funny. Has anyone suggested to make Rayquaza always be shiny? I sure hope they haven't. Can you make Steel Wing like Flying Press? I don't think so. I think Steel Wing's in a pretty good spot. And honestly, like 70 power is a lot. Is it always 70? I think it is always 70 power. I could see Steel Wing being like a little less accurate for its point of the game. Submission going to 90, but recoil. I see what you mean. It is a lot of 100% accuracy. I think the other thing though is like there's also a lot of other moves in this game that we just haven't looked at. Be very hard to do multi-type effectiveness. Yeah, we don't really want to do that. Yeah, I do actually think about Steel Wing, and just at its spot in the game, I think it might be a little strong. I do think that might be a little strong for its point in the game. I kind of would like to actually lower that power just down to 95. We're gonna try that out. I don't think that would feel bad because it is still a buff. Yeah, that don't have coverage options. It's mostly it. Yeah, I think 95 you feel good. Honestly though, like I'm pushing against it, but I also do see it. Like Metal Claw, I don't know. Also, even like Meteor Mash. Like, should Meteor Mash stay? I feel like Meteor Mash should stay 100 and get like a 5% boost. You know what I mean? Like maybe like 90%. Like I feel like that it's still not perfectly accurate, but because it is just on Metagross right now. And Metal Claw's getting a pretty big buff, and it's early on Aeron. Like, Metal Claw might be too much at 70. Aeron kind of sucks, though. Should stay 90-90, and more importantly, give it to Aggron. Meteor Mash needs to be 120-85 or 95-100. Yeah, I kind of do see Metal Claw like 60 maybe, if it's going to be accurate. I kind of like that a bit more. Let's do Metal Claw at 60. I think that's like a pretty big buff, honestly. Metal Claw 60 power. Yeah, 90-90 is how it is in modern games. I don't even like that. Like 90-90 feels bad. Yeah, and it's like a post-game move. Like you got to think about where these these moves aren't all coming at once, right? Tried teaching Sky Attack to Dragonite and Yellow Legacy and it couldn't learn it. Was there a reason for that? Yeah, just because it never learned it. I think, or maybe because it'd just be too good. Metal Claw feels like a late game steel move. It's not, is the thing though. Like it's like an early game steel move. 70 and 100 to mirror CL as steel moves. Basically only get those two moves. Yeah, right. That's the thing. There's just not a lot of steel moves in this game. That's a super valid point, actually. Iron Tail. Oh, Iron Tail is 190. So we don't want Meteor Mash to be the same. Okay, what if we make Metal Claw 70, but 95% accuracy, but higher attack? Maybe? Because Iron Tail is our 190, so let's not make Meteor Mash that. What if Meteor Mash is 185? What if it's 90 and 100? Yeah, like Steel needs, especially in this generation where Steel's really starting to come. Like Steel didn't need that much in Gen 2 because there wasn't like early Steel types. But in this generation, Steel kind of needs like a bit of balance to moves. Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah. So steel, meteor mash, meteor. I kind of like meteor mash being like your surf. Um, yeah, it is a defensive type, so it doesn't need to be like the elemental moves. Meteor mash. What's up, Ulka? 90 power. I like that. Like on Metagross, like it kind of deserves its signature move to be nice, and that's pretty good for like that line. And maybe Aggron could get it too. Exactly. Like that wouldn't have access to Iron Tail. Yeah. I guess anyway. Metal Claw. Meteor Mash just being upgraded Metal Claw works. I kind of agree. What about like Metal Claw at 60 and 10% chance to up power, or like do we want 20% chance to up attack and like slightly less, like 55? Yeah, Metal Claw is it's really similar to Steel Wing right now. Oh, thanks for the gift, Elka. Appreciate that. Congrats, Greenlee. I feel like Metal Claw might want to be like more of an earlier move still. Like I think that's kind of like Aeron's earlier move. I think 70 power is going to be too much. What about like 55? We let it be 95 accurate, but like 20% chance to up attack? Like what else does Aeron get, currently? Like let's look at Aggron. Like is it just like steel? Meteor Mash is Steel Crab Hammer. Also nice Ultra Ball Ulka. Perhaps? Oh man, that's so sad. Like, Aggron is good in this game just because there's not a lot of fighting and ground moves, but like, I don't know, like when you're Steel type, I feel like you don't need 180 defense. Call me crazy. Yeah, like what the fuck? Iron Tail is your next big move. 55, 100% accuracy, 20 power. Yeah, if Iron Tail is 90 accuracy, then I think Aggron's fine with that. I think that's great. Metal Claw is Caesar's move too. Well, Caesar's not in this game, so we don't have to balance for Caesar, fortunately. I don't know what Mawile gets. Like, I guess Mawile Meteor Mash feels weird on Mawile, but the 55, 95, 20, more than 55, 120. Yeah, I do kind of lean towards the chance to miss, I think, unfortunately. I don't know, 100 just looks weird on this move. What is Metal Claw originally? 50 95. So 5%, 5 damage and better chance to crit or to raise attack, right? I think that is a reasonable buff. Mawile gets nothing. Oh. So 55 power, accuracy, 20% boost. Because 20% is like reasonable. Like honestly, every 10 times is so out of the picture, but every 5 is like, you feel that. 60 power, 100% accuracy, and 20% secondary effect might be the way. I think I would be open to like 60 power, guys. Reggie, if you and Arrow agree on this, I think I will go 60 power but keep the accuracy. So 60 power, 95, 20%. And to be fair, wing attack on Talo is like level 13. So that's not that crazy. But it also, like, a secondary effect is kind of nice. I think that's fair. I think that's fair for now. Yeah, because that's basically like Talos wing attack. There's another Pokemon that gets like a pretty early, like kind of on par with like Zigzagoon's headbutt, because it's normal type, so 70 is like a little bit more fair. But I do think Steel is another one of those that does unfortunately feel like it thematically should have a little bit of a chance to miss. Oh, Combustion Double Kick. Yeah. 95% chance to miss is or 95% accuracy is pretty good. It's reliable. 1 in every 20 is very fine. Yeah, you just don't see that miss very often. Yeah, I have come around on this idea too, Chris. Even at the start of the stream, I was like, eh. Perfect analogy with Lyn. I'm so glad someone liked my Lyn analogy. Sceptile is Lyn from Fire Emblem. God, I love Fire Emblem. B2 push for the weakest Steel move. I agree, and I'm open to changing it. Fire and water moves getting 100% accuracy, 60, 70 power moves. I'm not sure why Steel is getting shafted. Lyn is sadly more garbage than Sceptile. It's true, but I will say if you play Lyn mode and train your Lyn and you like really hard power grind Lyn to like at least like level 12, she comes into like the actual main story pretty strong. I'll just say I freaking love Fire Emblem 7. Fire Emblem 7 is basically perfect already. Oh, I want to make a Fire Emblem 7 Legacy so bad. I just have so many ideas. All archers need longbows, and anyway, this is not the Confusion at 50 base power is the weakest psychic move. Yeah. FE8 is better. I don't know. I think that they're both really good. I think like FE8 is so easy that it's what I don't like it for, and I don't like the characters as much. That's facts. That's facts though. You are spitting facts, Rune. But he's gonna get rock moves, so he's chilling. Yeah, guys. So I definitely would make an FE7 Legacy patch. Because that's what I need as another project. Anyway, what is next is Shockwave. Yeah, so Shockwave wants 5 more. We've basically given all the perfect accuracy moves 65. And I like that. Yeah, if FE8 like had a Hector hard mode, I think it would be amazing. And also if Seth wasn't so absolutely busted. God, I could talk about Fire Emblem forever. But only Fire Emblem 7 and 8. I have played Fire Emblem 8 Lunatic mode, and I didn't really like it. With perfect accuracy. Yes, and that's because ghost types are an outlier. GG, Spark. Signal Beam, Skull Bash, Sky Attack, Sludge Bomb, Snore, Sonic Booms. Oh, we got Steel Wing. Stockpile, Submission, Sunny Day, Takedown, Thief, 60 power. Might be too much. The idea was that it's just kind of nice to have a decent dark move in the mid-game. Where's Superpower? Oh, these aren't all the moves. These are just the moves that we've made changes to. What is Superpower? I didn't even know this was in this game. Oh. Attack and defense by 1 stage. I didn't even know this was in Gen 3. What learns it in this generation? Nidoqueen and Fire Red Leaf Green. Oh, the Reggies. That's why. I've never caught a Reggie. I didn't want to figure out the Braille stuff. Yeah. That's cool. Anyway, triple kick, basically, the mechanics have changed. So this will now do 30, 40, 50, which equates 120 power at the end. It's just the same as Crystal Legacy. So it's a 120 power fighting move, but like not a lot of Pokemon are going to get it. Like it might just still be Hitmontop that gets it. Actually thinking about it, putting Hitmontop in the game. So what that would look like, because there's just not a lot of fighting types, and Hitmontop is kind of underrepresented, and there's no Gen 1 fighting type I want to add to the game. I don't even like Machop in the game, but Hitmontop is kind of stylistically, even though it really bleeds Johto, I think it's better to put a Johtomon in. I know, Weebra is so happy, but Hitmontop as like a, I will trade you this Hitmontop, not like a Tyrogue, like just Hitmontop. And make it a bit later so that like you have to like really struggle if you want like a Hitmonchan, because like we don't want you using Hitmonchan in this game, or Hitmonlee. And honestly, who wants to anyways? Vine Whip up to the power of Water Gun and Ember. Uproar, a little bit extra power. Actually, that should be pretty good on Wimser, on Wimmis. Vice Grip Steel was originally normal. The reason this change was suggested was because Mawile has no Steel Stab, and very few of the available options could work for it. Save possibly Metal Claw. This suggested his attempt to remedy this, though. If you would rather this not be changed, ignore the suggestion. So this hasn't been implemented. I don't actually. It might be. It was implemented. We're sitting on this ability. I do like Steel. Yeah, we're thinking about it finally. Blaze Kick on Hitmonlee would be cool. No, don't ask me about Hitmonlee. I'll kick you in the face. I'll Blaze Kick you. Vital Throw, more power, but like Makuhita would no longer get it at level 13. You know, this would be, well, honestly, whoa, I guess like Mach Punch and Double Kick are the early power moves. Arm Thrust. Yeah, I actually don't know if Vital Throw at 90 works for the Brawly fight, because what would have it? I mean, it would have Vital Throw is like more Brawly's good move, though, you know. Late 10s or early 20s for Makuhita. 90 is so freaking strong, though. Oh my god, yeah, of course. There's like Karate Chop and all that nonsense. Yeah, I guess like 70 is good, though, early game. Like, that's a great move for Makuhita early. There's also Rock Smash. Mawile uses her jaw's entire body as a tail itself. Yeah, that's cool. Brawly is a demon if you pick Trico. This will hurt. The plus minus is like how it's changed. So like from original. Yeah, I kind of think I agree with you, Era. Like, I just don't know if Vital Throw needs the power change. Like, it's not meant to be a late game move is the thing. So I think for now, let's just leave it at 70, actually. I think I'm going to move that back. I don't know if I really like how that changes the game. So let's just leave that as is for now. We'll up the PP to 15, though. We just have a lot of fighting moves that are getting strong. Waterfall, we've done that. Will-O-Wisp, 85% accuracy. Wrap and Zap Cannon. I mean, Zap Cannon probably wants a fix. And there's tons of other moves that probably want fixes, but I think we've done a pretty good job with this, actually. Does Cross Chop want to become 90? Is Cross Chop 90 in Crystal Legacy? I feel like we made all the 100 power moves 90, right? Like, Iron Tail is 90. I think Cross Chop probably wants 92, right? Type to type, totally. But unfortunately, this is the world we're living in. Holy wait, you're cooking. Chevron. I missed something. I missed something here. Or unless you're memeing. I feel like you guys are memeing. Sky Uppercut for Zangoose. The Jesse for membership. Did I miss a membership? Alka says Mankey could be on the Feebas route. Absolutely not. That thing gets so much love in yellow. Pokemon that learn it become really interesting in late game. Yeah, I'm open to the, like, no one uses Zap Cannon as is. So I'm fine to make it 70 and see what happens. Like, it just this is just like, let's experiment with it and see what happens. Probably should have done it in last gen too, but I was a coward. But again, power creep, so I think it might be more doable here. They say to let me name the Hitmontop trade so you can't rename them. Oh, that would actually be kind of funny, because, like, for anyone that doesn't know, like, it's Weber's favorite Pokemon, and there's a lot of little Hitmontops that appear throughout our videos. That would be kind of funny. Just a weaker Thunder then. Yeah, so what we did in we did in a recent parody fix for Crystal Legacy, and this is yellow, is all the 120 power moves are 85 accuracy. Come in. Hey. Would you like to say hi?
Hi.
I don't know if they heard that, but really?
Yeah. I need a hug.
Okay. Well, do you want me to? I can finish my stream.
Do whatever you want.
I'll finish. I'll come out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll be out in a few.
I'll wait right here.
You're gonna sit on the floor.
Yep.
All right, guys. I'm gonna call stream here. Yeah. Okay. It's been cool. Liv says hi, and I will see you guys shortly. This has been fun though. This has been a very productive thing, and it's perfect because we just wrapped this up. So first stream done. We've made some progress. We've got the ball rolling. We've been thinking. Much love. Thank you to everyone, and I'll see you guys later.